Boy, do we have a good video for y'all today. We're in a really cool spot and I can't wait to tell you all about the history here. It's gonna be awesome. So we are at Tristian's grandfather's place. And what's so cool about this spot is, you may have heard us talk about it in previous videos, is this used to be the bottler in this particular town. And we've always dug a little bit here on and off, but he has broke out the backhoe and we're pulling some pretty cool stuff out of here. Check this out.
Yeah, that's the bottom.
You can see all of the broken glass in the background. This would have been a straight side Coke from Brookside, Alabama. You can see it right there. Pioneer Coca-Cola. Man, that would have been a really awesome. It's a shame that it's cracked down here too far. We can't make a drinking glass out of it, but it's still a good one. Let me show you what we've got so far. What do you got?
Look at that Louisiana bottle.
No way. Property of Vernon Bottling Works, Leesville, Louisiana. That's a cool one too. But check these out. This is in about 15 minutes, guys. There's a Cherry-Cola that's from Birmingham, Alabama. Got what looks to be a 1915. Let me try to rotate it around where we can see a date on it. May not be able to, it's pretty faint. But let's see if we can at least get a town off of it. That is, no way, that's a Brookside 1915. That is a very, very, very rare bottle. Wow, no way. That's a good one right there, guys. Very expensive bottle. There's another broken Coca-Cola. There is a Cherry-Cola. Another one of those broken Coca-Colas. You can see why these are so valuable, because they just, oh no, that's a Caro-Cola. Oh, daggum. From Bessemer, Alabama. Man, that would have been killer. Just that terrible glass. It pings and it leaves these marks like you see right here, those fish eyes, once they're uncovered. There's another Cherry-Cola. Let's see where this one's from. Another Brookside 1915. Man, those are some good bottles. Another straight side Coke right here. Up there it says property of the Birmingham Coca-Cola bottling plant. It's Coca-Cola he just threw up here. Jefferson County Inslee Bottling, Circle Slug, and another Chero. So we have already put a pretty good little size hole right here. We're hoping to find some pretty cool stuff for y'all. I'm excited to see what comes out of here. I've never dug on this back side. I've only dug on the front side, and I am super excited to be here. So let's see what we can come up with. So you can see the shimmer and the shine right here. This is actually going to be Tristian's grandfather's garden. And as he was plowing, just glass was just coming up everywhere. These darker pieces that you see are purple, have been exposed to the sunlight for a very long time to get that nice purple color that you see. And most of the stuff that's on the surface like that does not survive because of the climate change between summer, winter, and fall. They would have filled with water, froze, and then cracked. So what I'm doing right now is going to get the probe out of the truck. We're gonna do a little bit of probing instead of digging blindly and see if we can come up with a really good pocket here in a minute with a bunch of bottles in it. All right, guys, we found a new spot back in the woods over here. There was just some mounds on top. And what would have happened is the bottler, as they would have discontinued the bottles or found ones that had minor imperfections, they would have took and just piled them in the piles into low-lying areas to get them out of the way. And I said, hey, that looks like a pile back there. Let me go probe it. So I stuck the probe in the ground a couple times and I heard glass, and we took a shovel and went down, and this is the first whole bottle in, what, about a minute?
Yeah.
Less than a minute. It's a straight side Coke, pre-1915 from Birmingham, Alabama. And what makes this bottle so neat is not that it's from Birmingham, because that makes it pretty common. But if you look, it's purple down here and it's clear up there. The reason for that is the way I found it, it was buried like that. And the heel was exposed to the sunlight, which allowed the bottom part to turn purple and the top to be clear. And that is the first of its kind that I've ever found, which is amazing. That is really, really cool to think this thing sat on top of the ground for well over 100 years and it's still in that good a shape. So the garden spot back behind us that I showed you quickly, this is what came from right behind that. They got on some killer bottles, and I'm talking about fast. These are my Cocas from Fairfield. 1, 2, 3 of them. There's Cherry-Cola, Cherry-Cola, Raola, Raola, Coca-Lula, There's a gleola. Now these over here don't seem to have any damage that I can see. A couple of these over here do, but they're still awesome examples of sodas. The good part about this being a bottler's dump, like Tristian said a while ago, is the fact that there's no medicines or whiskeys. And that does kind of stink, but at the same time, if you're soda guys like we are, it's awesome. Man, I think that's that rare color Birmingham.
That's nice.
Yeah, so one of these has I can't tell with the sun, but it's a little bit darker aqua, and it makes it a little bit rare. That's a beautiful bottle. There, I just set that Coke there. That's the one that we found a while ago that had the purple bottom. Jefferson County, Coca-Cola's.
Blank.
Ah, those blank ones get you every time. They used to get us down in Aliceville all the time. There's a Raiola, Chericola, Jefferson County, more Chericolas, more Raiolas, more Chericolas, and more Raiolas. So if you're not from this area and you don't know what's common and what's not, immediately you probably already know that Chericolas are pretty common because you see us find those a good bit, and the Raiolas are as well. But those Mycocas are pretty tough to find. I've only found a few pieces of the bottoms of them in my time. I've never dug a hole in, and that's because there was never a dump found in Fairfield, Alabama. So it's only the outlying towns that have those bottles.
Only bottle from there?
I think it is. I think it is. Now they do have an embossed medicine from there. I dug one and I messed up and traded it to Clayton. I wish I'd have kept it now.
Heard of that. That's cool.
But this is awesome, guys. So we're about to go get back in the woods, see if we can find some more. All right, we've got a mystery find. We're gonna need your help from the audience to tell us what it is. I don't know. He found both of them in separate locations, but like they said, it almost looks like this could have went on the side of a mule, but it's smaller. So maybe this is like a harness for a goat, for like a goat cart. We don't know. I had initially thought tongs, but after looking at the ends of them, that doesn't make any sense either. So for all of you relic guys out there, drop us a comment below and let us know what they are. We're all very curious. All right, so we're at the new probed out spot, and it looks like we've got the first whole bottle. Oh yeah, it looks good.
Some gloves.
Yeah, we got in a hurry and didn't grab our proper PPE for our friends of Ocean here. This is not a work site. This is a hobby. Looks good, doesn't it? Looks whole.
Yeah, it looks whole.
Watch it be a Brookside Chero.
Oh, dude, I'd do a backflip. Chero.
Columbus,
Georgia.
That's the origination point of Chericola.
Really?
Yep. It's okay. There's whole bottles in this here pile.
Good, perfect bottle, perfect shape.
Let's find some more. All right, so we're back further into the woods. We're at a mine opening that you see, or you may not be able to see. I don't know. Let's see. I don't know if you can tell how much that slumps in right here and how the water's coming out, but this right here was an old mine shaft, probably from the late 1800s. Now, Tristan knows the story better than I do, but apparently the ballers had a truck from the 20s or from the teens.
I don't know for sure. I've heard a lot from a lot of different people, but probably 20s, teens or 20s, right before the end of the company.
So whenever the company disbanded, the truck must have been in bad disrepair, and the rumor was that they buried the truck. And we've kind of wondered, or speculated, I say we, Tristan has speculated, as to whether or not they just drove that truck right into that mine and collapsed it around it. Meanwhile, we're picking up straight side Coke pieces. Oh, almost like a torpedo style. Close, not quite. What is that one? Another Chero?
Nothing.
Meanwhile, we're
Macon, Georgia.
Oh, Macon, Georgia one. That one's a little bit different than what we've been finding.
No, nothing.
There's an, oh, is that the swirl one? Let's see that one. Or is that standard?
I'll call you back in a minute.
Standard. Let's leave this one. There's another My Coca from Fairfield. That's a good drinking glass right there.
Coca-Cola. That'd probably be a decent drinking glass.
Yeah, that's probably a good drinking glass. And this is all right at the opening of this shaft, though. So that tells you that this mine was abandoned, done away with, shut down. And then the bottler said, you know what? We're going to just throw our bottles right at the opening of this because nobody needs to be going in there anyways. And if they do, they'll cut their feet up. Only joking, but we're still finding some good stuff. So right now we're just doing a little bit more prospecting. That first pile back there only had the straight side Coke and the Chericola in it. We completely leveled it out and decided to move along with the probe and hopefully turn up something else here in just a minute. So we're about 50 yards to the left. And this right here is going to be the next mine shaft. And sadly, these are all collapsed down through here, which in honesty, it's probably safer for,
we'd be off in there.
Yeah, we'd be in there looking around, and not to mention the animal aspect of that. You don't know when something would go in there. That's a huge shaft. They dug deep for that coal right here. All right, we're still walking around. We're still exploring, and we heard a snake drop, which is right there, which I don't know if we're going to show that to you or not. And this came flying through here. I thought it was a giant tadpole. Tristan just grabbed up a catfish. I bet you that's what that snake was trying to get.
Yeah, probably so.
Did you see where that snake went?
Look, he's got bite marks on his side.
Does he?
Yeah, that's probably what was going on.
That's how you were able to grab him then.
Yep.
Where'd that snake go?
Oh, right up in them trees. Be careful.
Yeah, now I'm a little bit worried.
Right up in that.
It was a water moccasin,
Yeah,
or
like
AKA cottonmouth. Sometimes the water snakes around here look like them, but they're the ones that are highly aggressive. So we're not going to mess with them, and they are venomous or poisonous, or however you want to say it. I always say it wrong, but I'm going to avoid that side over there. So if you heard the dog barking, that's the dog. And we know the people that live here. This is actually some of Tristan's relatives, so we're able to walk back here. The good part about small town Alabama is usually everybody's related to everybody, and that makes it where if you know one, you kind of know them all. So we're still hot on the bottle trail. Supposedly there's still a pile of bottles up here for us to find. We're getting closer. Oh, wedged in there pretty good. Yep, Pioneer. Drinking glass candidate. Hey, it's one of the Dixie ones. Oh, no, it's not. I thought it was.
That would have been cool. That would have been a really cool drinking glass.
Yeah, it would have. It's still a good one.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like there's any damage anywhere.
Sweet.
Well, oh, there's a crack right there. Man, it blended in good. That's okay, though. Definitely on the right path. Getting closer to some more bottles. Sadly, this one has heel damage and will not be a good drinking glass. We're on the bottles. Heel damage. Heel damage. Heel damage. Come on. Not even asking for a whole bottle. Hey, that was the Alabama Bottling Company hutch.
Really?
Yeah, that would have been a hutch. Tell by the A on the bottom.
That was a hutch.
Oh, yep, there was another hutch. That one's pretty close. Man, there's probably some decent ones right below the surface. Guys, I know that I've been gone for a couple weeks, but hopefully this video made up for it. This is a ton of bottles.
We did well.
Man. Tristan, thanks for the invite. Thanks to your grandfather. We're going to be coming back out here and spending some more time this summer, though. This is just kind of a prelude to what's coming.
Yep.
The reason that I was not around last week is my wife actually had a surgery on her nose. She had to have her deviated septum fixed. That kind of shut us down, and I'm actually going to be having my wisdom teeth pulled this week. So when y'all are watching this video, I will probably be under anesthesia by that point and have my teeth out, which is not fun. So let's do a quick wrap up. Jefferson County, straight side Cokes, Coca-Cola's, 1915s, My-Colas, Riolas, Chericolas, you name it. These over here, the Jamocas, Jefferson County Insleys, just a huge variety of stuff on top of a ton of different drinking glass candidates and other pieces of bottles that even if they may not be drinking glass candidates like this one right here, it's just an incredibly rare bottle to find. A Caricola from Bessemer, you just don't find that stuff. Sadly, the Chericolas seem to be the ones that survived the most. They just made a really good glass back then. But that's okay though, because we saved a ton of history today. And what's most important about this whole situation is we gave Tristan's grandfather the bottle bug.
Yeah, I think we did. I think we did.
So he's into it now, and we've got a advocate on our side that's got a backhoe.
And property full of bottles.
And a property full of bottles, so I think we're good to go. Yep. Guys, if y'all enjoyed the video, be sure you drop a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, please do so, and we'll catch you guys in the next adventure.